How's it going, everybody? Rye right here today, and we are back with your Calgary Flames here in episode number 3. And before we begin today, guys, I wanted to say thank you so much for all the support. It's truly been amazing. This might be the most liked, most well-received franchise mode I've ever done. The amount of comments, it's probably a new record for this early in a series, and it's awesome. You guys with the support are absolutely killing it, and I want to say thank you, guys. Can we keep it going? Can we get more likes? It really does help a ton for the channel and help me out a bunch if you can leave a like on the video. And if you're new and you're just starting up this series, you're watching on the playlist or something, go ahead and subscribe. We got a bunch more fun content, and those of you that are leaving comments, gosh, I love it. It's the best. Hearing what you guys have to say and having some conversations in the comments before I come back and record for you guys what we're going to do. You guys have been so helpful. A lot of really nice, insightful commentary too. Options, different routes, players to look at, things like that. Ruzishka. So Max, I believe, thank you. Shout out to you for the Ruzishka comment. So I now know how to say his name correctly. Ruzishka. Okay. But what we want to do is, I think we're all in agreement, the comments and me, is go ahead and move up as high as possible as we can. Now, I did see a comment that said to fire the coach. And I like that idea, except for the fact that I feel like we found a good one. We kind of stumbled into it, right? If this was the start of the series, or maybe after the first episode where we were a couple months in and we were performing better than I thought, I might have fired him then. But to be honest, the fact that our coach is putting this kind of talent in a playoff position, I think just leads me to believe that Holly is the guy that I'm going to want going forward, right? He's got 57.3% points percentage, and I have not put together nearly a roster that's even close to what I want. Oh, by the way, 72% scheme fit. So A+ teaching as well. I feel like he is the perfect coach to lead us into the future. Now, I could get a little cheesy, and I thought about this last night when I was making dinner. I could fire him and then hire somebody random and then rehire him in the offseason. I don't think I want to do that. I think we did find our coach. But like we said, everybody kind of agrees that we should be moving up somehow, some way in the draft. And I think really what that's going to be here is moving one of our 2 firsts plus one of the remaining players that I'm okay with moving, right? None of these guys at the top. Elias Lindholm just got moved for another first. Of course, days after I start the series, but really, when was the roster update going to come out? That would include that. Probably push it back even longer, and I just couldn't wait anymore, and neither could you guys. But we have Mangiapane, and we've got Sharon Govich. Sharon Govich might have a bit more value. It's very slight, but I think he does. So Sharon Govich might be the one to move. Mangiapane, 5.8 million. And honestly, guys, with his performance, 47 points in 62 games, 5.8 million is not that crazy. Now, it's not fair to say Sharon Govich is being outperformed by him because he's got 19 points in 62 games, another good performer. He's only playing 12 minutes. His giveaway to takeaway ratio is pretty good, and he does hit. Mangiapane hits more because he's got more ice time, right? So they both feel fine to me. Mangiapane is just playing 5 more minutes, and I think he's just a better shooter too. They're both pretty good. So maybe I'm sliding them a little bit too much. Shillington here actually is a guy that I don't think wants to re-sign. I took a look at it, and you know, in the last one, he did not want to re-sign, so maybe he's somebody we end up moving on from with the pick, right? Maybe we keep Mangiapane and we keep Sharon Govich and we trade away Shillington, right? So we go to all expiring, and he is at the top of the list, does not want an extension. Ruzishka does, and I think we should give him an extension. He wants... Oh man, I think I'll give him a 3-year deal at $2.5 million. I feel like that's a solid deal for him. He's 24. He'll be 27 at the end of that deal. We can figure it out, but he really feels like a good third liner to me right now. If he does grow because he's been playing fantastically, then that's a steal for a second liner, but I really feel like he'll be a good third liner. So 3 years at $2.5 million, I feel like is really good. Dylan Dubé, probably want to move on from him as well. He's not really a planned player for my future here. He fits the scheme pretty much everywhere. He's pretty average, 81 at 25. He's got some value, so we can move on from him. So Shillington and Dubé, 2 expiring contracts that I could move. Gergensons I could move as well. We do have 1 extra player, I believe, that we could move on from, but if we do end up moving away from Dubé at the deadline here, we would have to slot somebody in from our scratched players. But Dustin Wolf still is okay. He's still fine with a contract extension, but I'm going to see if I can give him like 3.2. God, for 2 years? I mean, I don't necessarily need Wolf, but to give away a medium elite goaltender like him would be painful, right? Take a look at the main roster. We've got Spencer Knight. In the system, we've got Wolf. Do I want to move Wolf and a pick to move up? That could be something we do, but I think we keep Wolf in the back pocket, and just so that I'm going to see if I can get a backup goalie for the minors here. Somebody here has got to be fine, right? For the minors, Ollie, Eriksson, Eck, we don't really know much about their overall. So a couple 73s that we know exactly. Hoberg, Larmy, we'll go with, yeah, right here. Why not? Offer the contract 1 year. Perfect. It's just for insurance that I could have done this a little bit sooner. I don't know. I'm not convinced that we're going to keep Dustin Wolf, but I mean, to move up in the draft is going to cost some capital too. I don't think we're going to get a top pick. Right? We've got the Hurricanes pick and our pick, which are both looking like they're going to not be in the lottery. If we were to add a goalie in here, I mean, Dustin Wolf does have a good amount of value. Just kind of want to compare their values here. And then defenseman, Shillington. I think they're pretty similar, Wolf and Shillington. Wolf definitely has more, but we take a look here. Yeah, Wolf is slightly more valuable than Shillington. I wish I could just throw them all together. If I sort by overall, I could probably get Dubé and Shillington close to each other. Dubé is here. Oh, that's just, I have forwards, all skaters. There we go. Shillington and Dubé. Okay, so Dubé is a little less valuable than Shillington, I think. I can't really tell. It's very minor if there is any difference, but I think Dustin Wolf could be another trade piece. I mean, he's going to want $3.2 million to be a starting goaltender or a backup goaltender. He's growing incredibly nicely. I don't think I want to move on from him at the deadline. That's one that he's an RFA. We can RFA him. He'll be back. And then we can make a move maybe in the offseason episode, right? You guys can give some time to think about that. But those of you that are watching and love to comment and have something to say, let me know, because Dustin Wolf behind Spencer Knight. I mean, Spencer Knight, how many more years do we have of him? I don't think their timelines are going to line up at all. $4.5 million for another 2 seasons after this one for Spencer Knight. So, you know, I don't see the need to have him be the backup. And Vladar is the backup right now at $2.2 million a year. He's fine. He's great, right? So maybe I let him grow for 1 more year RFA'd, but I think Shillington and Dubé, and then moving maybe the Carolina Hurricanes first. Just a reminder of some teams that we could potentially go after. I got to do this for myself too, don't worry. I just can't remember all the guys at the top that could potentially be buyers, right? The Islanders, I think, were a team that were kind of interested in selling off their pick. Same thing with the Devils. The Anaheim Ducks, I definitely think were as well. I got to look at the Red Wings, but taking a look here, I mean, realistically, as long as you're not the Predators, Lightning, or Senators, if you have sub 30 wins, I want to say that you're a target, right? For us to trade with, to potentially move up in the draft. Yeah, sub 30 wins are the teams we're looking for. So whoever's picked there that we can get, I think I want to do it, right? Even the Montreal Canadiens, yes, they've got 63 points. However, a losing streak could see them jump right down here to where the Devils are, right? Ideally, I want one of these teams with 26 or fewer wins. But I think less than 30 or less than 27, right? This is the range with the Blue Jackets, the Ducks, the Red Wings. This is the kind of range where I probably will have to settle, but I am going to shoot for the moon, right? I do want to make those trades, and I guess I could make it today. I know as the clock ticks down, those guys get less and less valuable. So, let's just call a team like the New York Islanders. I believe they are okay with giving away their first. It doesn't look like they're okay with it, but it's low trade value. The New Jersey Devils are another team as well. They similar trade value. No trades found there. Ottawa is another team that, hey, they got the Red Wings pick, right? So no chance there with Ottawa. They would want a second Peltier and then a second. So 2 seconds in Peltier. It's not exactly what I'm looking to give up, right? Like, it's just not sinking. up. I mean, they're a conservative buyer. They should be shopping this first. I mean, maybe they'll update the trade blocks heading into the deadline too. So, but Ottawa's a 31-win team, right? So they don't quite fit the bill. We're looking for the sub 30 wins that are listed as conservative buyers or a buyer. Even the Tampa Bay Lightning, they've got enough points, though, to where I'd probably want to steer clear. The Anaheim Ducks, though, listed as a conservative seller, so they may have updated the trade at their block. But from the last time, they seem to be interested in what I was selling. Taking a look at draft picks, they don't want to give it up, but it doesn't have a ton of value, right? That's the thing. Like, it doesn't have as much value as I'd think you'd expect. The Arizona Coyotes are a seller, which is, to be fair. The Chicago Blackhawks are killing it. What happened with the Blackhawks? They got the Lightning pick, who's way higher. Okay. What is going on in Chicago? Who is killing it? It is Connor Bedard, up to an 89 in his rookie season. He's got 67 points in 63 games as a rookie. Oh man, that is not going to be good for us. I mean, they're in our conference. So goaltending wise, Peter Mrazek doing his thing. He's probably higher than an 80 at this point, but conservative seller. They're probably not going to sell off their draft pick, but it's not that highly valued is the crazy part, right? Like, I look at it here, and then I throw on the Carolina Hurricanes pick. Oh, we are further away than I guess I thought. Do they want Shillington? Does anybody want this package? They would have too many skaters in the organization. Does anybody want both? The Detroit Red Wings are a conservative buyer, which probably means they're not willing to give up their first or mortgage too many futures. Actually, they don't have their first. Ottawa does. The Edmonton Oilers are listed as a conservative buyer. I'd absolutely go after their first if it wasn't so freaking expensive to get, and they'd be over the league maximum salary cap. Now, I could retain some salary and take some back, but of course you can't do cap dumps in this game, because of course you can't. But wow, the Minnesota Wild are really bad, and that's a very valuable first-round pick. So the Montreal Canadiens are listed as a seller. Skaters matching the block, none. Great. What are you selling off, Montreal? If you're going to be a seller, sell something. All right, well, let's jump into the deadline. I was going to say the All-Star break. It's currently the All-Star break. I'm trying to get this video in before the draft. The All-Star draft is tonight. It's like 20 minutes away, so forgive me if I seem a little bit excited. But I think we're going to be just a seller. We're going to be straight up seller. I'm entering the deadline as a bona fide seller. I am selling off as much as I can. And there we go. Now we're here, and here are the top players on the block. Now, what we could do, what I actually want to do to start, is go available players and see if we can get all the way over to the young prospects. This is terrible. It's so clunky and slow. Just let me get to the end, please. Let me look at the players with potential. And don't you dare make a freaking trade that sends me all the way to the back, or all the way to the front. Huutonen here is potentially medium elite, age 20 though. I don't want that. Lekker Miyake, we know, is a 71 medium top 6. Here at the deadline, a 71 medium top 6, what would you have to give up to get him? A third, a fourth, and Osterley, Barclay Goodrow, so I could shed salary there in 2 fourths? I don't think I will. Shillington, a fourth and a fifth. I think that could be one. Actually, Dubé, a fourth and a fifth. I think I'll do the Dubé, a fourth and a fifth. It's next year's fourth, this year's fifth, or it's Sharon Govich in a third. I think I'm going to accept the Dubé trade, right? We're going to move on from Dubé anyway. We get a medium top 6 player from Vancouver here. And it's a fourth and a fifth as well as Dubé. I think this is an absolute win for us. I'm very happy to make that trade, and I just want to make sure it went through, because sometimes when you go through that, it doesn't accept it. But I think Dubé should be gone now. If we take a look at forwards, sort by overall, Dylan Dubé is gone. He's officially gone from the roster. And there we go. Our first trade was made. Let's take a look here. I'm still looking at that New York Islanders pick. Now I kind of want to see, does anybody have a first round pick on their block? Does anybody like want to give away their first round pick? Oh, this our block. I don't want to do that. Let's see. Oh, I can't see other teams trading blocks at the deadline. Come on. All right. So Stat Central, just a reminder of the teams at the bottom. At the bottom of the list, we have, oh man, with the time clock now, that's so much more pressure. The San Jose Sharks are way up there, right? But the Islanders and Devils right here, they're down here. The Coyotes could be a team. The Blue Jackets are another team. Calling Ottawa to get the Red Wings pick could be like that sneaky way to get it, right? To get a top pick. So if we call Ottawa and ask for the Detroit Red Wings pick, rather than their pick, right? Their pick is higher or less valued, right? It's going to be higher. Detroit Red Wings pick, no trades found. What about the Senators? No trades found there as well. Okay, so it is going to take a little bit of manual negotiation. I'll still call the Devils and the Islanders. You know, I've been calling them nonstop over the last 12 hours, apparently, just because I want those picks, man. Give me those picks. No trades found for the Islanders first. The Devils first. No trades found. Can I actually get Luke Hughes? Side note, we've officially scouted him all the way. No trades found there. Simon Nemec at 20 and 78, medium elite defensive prospect here. They want to get rid of him. But we have no package apparently that gets it across the line, which is a bit upsetting, but we'll move. I wonder why. I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that we're so close to the trade floor. The Anaheim Ducks are acquiring Labushkin, a second-round pick, send to the Detroit Red Wings in exchange for Kopp and a sixth. Okay, so they are buying. Are they really gonna buy the Anaheim Ducks at 28 and 7? I'll give you the Carolina Hurricanes pick, and then I will also give you a defenseman that you don't seem to want. He doesn't have as much value. Is it gonna go through? It doesn't match their trade block needs either. What else could I give up? I'm not going to give up Cormier, who we just acquired. Who do they have that's matching the block? Oh, man. The Flyers have traded a second to the Leafs for Domi and a fifth. That's kind of a nothing trade. Give them Mangiapane, as well as Shillington. I mean, that's a lot of salary coming off the books here. Do they want it? We'd move up. Trade rejected. It doesn't match our trade block particularly well either. Okay. It is a lot of value there. I may have to give up our first and then use the Carolina Hurricanes pick to take somebody at the end of the first round. That may be what I have to do, but how far down are the Ducks? I still like that idea of going after the Detroit Red Wings pick with Ottawa. I'll have to call them here in a second, but I just got to keep refreshing my mind of who is down here at the bottom. Right? The Anaheim Ducks are not here at the bottom. The Detroit Red Wings are, I mean, they're 2 points behind them, right? It's not that crazy different. But I think if we started to ask for like the Devils or the Islanders pick, I feel like the Islanders pick, actually the Devils have played one more game and have one more point. They do have the tiebreaker on most teams down here where the Islanders do not. I think let's talk to the Oilers actually. The Oilers might be a good team to go after. They seem to be still thinking that they can win. I mean, Connor McDavid's got to be pissed, first of all. Can we get Connor McDavid? Is that a thing we can do? Connor McDavid. Does he want out? No, he does not want out. Unfortunate, but I kind of expected that. Draft picks. Edmonton Oilers first. No trades found, but I feel like I can make one happen. Now, their next year's first is not going to be that valuable. So let's see. I'm going to start making my own trades happen because it doesn't seem like anybody really wants to give up these picks. They're a conservative buyer, man. I don't know what to tell you, but they want to buy. They want to go for it. The only problem is they don't want... Oh, my God. We have 2 firsts, a second, and a third. We only have early picks here in Calgary. I could give a first a few years from now. I'll give them the Hurricanes pick. And then I guess I might have to also part with Dustin Wolf. Defenseman, though, do they want Shillington? They don't want... Of course, why don't you guys want Shillington? They'd be over the league maximum. I'll retain salary. This is why we didn't retain salary earlier. I'll retain half of his salary for you guys. Propose the trade. It doesn't meet our trade block needs very well. Okay, skaters matching the block. Who does meet your block needs? Kuznetsov, 22-year-old medium top 6. Do you want him? Is this going to get the deal across the line? I don't think so, but I don't feel like that's going to work either. Draft picks. Don't really have many draft picks to play with here. We got a couple thirds in the future. I guess I could give up a second in a future second in Shillington. Can I get back like a late pick this year, like a fifth? How's that? So a first, a second 2 years from now in Shillington for Edmonton's first and a fifth. Will it go through? Rejected. Doesn't match. Okay, doesn't match particularly well either. How about you guys just give me like a fifth next year? I kind of want the fifths. Trade rejected isn't there whatsoever. I feel like I'm not that close here. Nashville Predators 6th round pick. Trade rejected. Straight up, trade rejected. The value of what you were asking has been by your scout. The value of what you are asking us has been hugely inflated by your scout. Don't know what you mean there. Okay, I'll give you our first, right? To move up to their first there and to move on from Shillington, I feel like is fine. I feel like now I can maybe get that 5th round pick. in the deal. Trade rejected, quite far off in value. Could just get rid of the 5th. I really want this Oilers pick, man. They are... Trade rejected. You aren't offering. Try again some other day, maybe. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant to remove it. Trade rejected. Quite far off based on the value. I'm off. Wow, they really don't want to give up that first round pick. Is anybody selling firsts here? I doubt. Oh, wait. Their first round pick is on the block? The Devils put their first round pick on the block? Are you kidding me? All right. I don't know why I'm spending so much time with Edmonton. I guess I should have been calling the Devils here, and they want Shillington as well. They'd be over the league maximum salary cap. I will retain all the salary possible. Again, with Shillington. This is kind of like the package I'm offering. They would still be over league maximum salary cap. Skaters matching the block. Do they have any high? No, they don't have any high salary there. All skaters, high salaries that aren't good players. McLeod here for, I mean, I guess McLeod for a year. Bastion for 2 years. I mean, he's got like negative value, right? Bastion, they'd still be over the league maximum salary cap. Oh, because it's not enough. It's not enough of a hit. Oh man, no wonder why they're, I guess I'd have to give up all futures. What about Miller here? They'd still be, wow, it's barely moving it at all. Okay, I want to see, they're a good team. I'm trying to look for teams that have their first on the block that aren't a good team. Detroit Red Wings traded Wallman to the Ducks for a third and a third. What are the Ducks doing, man? They're weird. 2024 first. No, those are good firsts. I mean, like bad first, but good firsts. Maybe Boston would be bad next year. Does anybody have the? I'm not taking theirs. Theirs is not going to be a good pick. The Stars are one of those teams that have sub 30 wins that have their first on the block. They may not. Oh, man, I really want to make this trade for the Devils first. Now that it's on, I see it on the block. I really want to make a trade for that Devils pick. Because that's one that's like, it's really potentially, it's going to be potentially really good. So a draft pick, first round pick, no trades found. All right, so I guess I'm going to have to give up not salary unless I just take salary back from them. The Devils, I mean, who else had their pick on the block? The Stars had their pick on the block. First round pick from the Stars, no trades found, but it is a lot lower in value. Wait, the Stars, I swear the Stars had their pick on the block. Did they take it off? Stars here. Yeah, they did, but I mean, I guess at 29, 32, and 4, it's not really that much of an upgrade from our own pick. I feel like with the Devils, they do have it on the block. All right, I'm willing to give up our first round pick for the New Jersey Devils pick, right? It's that much higher, and I think we're that much closer to a deal. Now, the question is, Dustin Wolf, New Jersey would have too many goalies. We'd have too few goalies. So, we just kind of take on anybody that they want to give us back. The trade would be approved. We'd have to give up Wolf, but, you know, I feel like this would be fine to get a top pick. Moving up our pick and Wolf, it's trade rejected, quite far off. Okay. What else can I give you that you would want that would be league approved? Hunt? Do you guys want Hunt? I'll give you Hunt. Absolutely. Trade rejected, quite far off, nor are we particularly interested in what you're offering us. Goalies matching the block, none. Draft picks, I'll still give up. You know what? How about I give up that second, and maybe I can keep Wolf, and get rid of Brennan. So a second in 2 years and our first for the New Jersey Devils first round pick. Trade rejected, quite far off in value. Wow. Okay, defenseman, Shillington, and they'd be over league maximum salary cap. And if I retained it all the way, they still wouldn't be underneath the cap. It's already 10 a.m. and I haven't really made any moves of significance. Skaters matching the block. I mean, Simon Nemec is on the block. I could go after him, but at 78, at already 20 years old, I just don't know if he's ever going to amount to anything. As far as salary is concerned, I mean, I guess I would take Miller. But that, again, we've done this before. It doesn't go through. Okay, let me see if I can throw in. I'll throw in Wolf again. I will throw him in. But I'm going to take back that second. They'd have too many goalies. That's fine. I will take one back because I kind of need a goalie back. Whoever has the least amount of trade value. Nico Dawes. Okay, perfect. Does that go through on its own? Trade rejected. Quite far off. I figured. Can I give up a future third round pick? We've got the Vancouver pick to play with, right? So we'll throw in the Vancouver pick from that trade. Okay, not going to work there. Can we throw in that a second from us in 2026? Will this go through? Trade accepted. All right. So we move our first round pick. We do make the trade happen. We had to give up a second in 2 years, which I normally don't do, but hey, we had to give up the second. I didn't want to give up, we don't have many picks this year. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4 next year. We have 2 1s, a 2, and a 3, as well as now 1, 3, 3. Yeah, our pick situation is interesting. Now what I need to do is make sure I trade Shillington, most likely just for picks. A 4th and a 6th, Perot? I mean, Perot I don't think he's that bad. A 3rd next year. Okay, do I have to take some players back, or can I just a 2nd round pick this year from the Kraken for Shillington? I think we found our winner. The Kraken, I think that's the most competitive offer we've seen so far as draft pick compensation. A 2nd this year? Oh man, I really like that idea of a 2nd this year for Shillington. I think that's perfect. I mean, that's another high pick this year. Their first is on the block, but they are a buyer, right? This does make sense. They offered it to me, and we actually are pretty good on the salary cap side of things. There we go. Trade accepted. I'm gonna take that extra 2nd round pick. So now looking at our draft picks, we have 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a 3rd. Which, if you take a look at it, that's 5 picks in probably the top 100. I'll take that. I'll take 5 top 100 players. And we'll worry about the future picks later. We have a 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd, and a 4th next year. And then a 1 and 2 3s, 4, 5, 6. We finally get back to normal here later on. And then we'd have our normal picks in 2027. But that's a couple years away. 2026, I don't think anybody's really talking too much about those picks besides us. Okay. So as far as the guys I wanted to get rid of, we did get rid of them. How many 1 year left players? Lindholm, Hanifin, Peltier, Ruzishka, Kuznetsov. Yeah, we could look to move on from Sharangovich, right? He's probably another guy that if we went to offer him out, we could probably get maybe a 3rd or a 4th or something like that. We'll just answer the call, right? The Ducks want to give us a 4th and a 6th. The Coyotes want to give us a next year's 3rd. Sharangovich does have another year left, and I think he'd be fine. Is there any prospects? Jake Allen, but I mean, he's a backup goaltender at best for us. 2 fourths there from the Predators. Honestly, I don't hate the deal for 2 fourths, but the fact that Corey Perry's elite, the fact that I could get a 3rd out of this, 2 fourths again, a 3rd and the Seattle Kraken just want to a 3rd and a 4th this year? Seriously? I know Josh Bloom is not good, so I don't have to worry. A 3rd and a 3rd and a 4th from Seattle this year? Is it worth keeping Sharangovich? I mean, he's an 81, but 3.1 million. I don't ever think he's going to be worth that. So I'm going to take the 3rd and the 4th for Sharangovich. And now, what, did I misread the year? No, it just, oh shit, it didn't go through. Okay, I want to see, we don't have much time. I don't, who wants Sharangovich? He's a left winger at 3.1 million. Sharangovich. Oh, he's not a left winger. He's a center, isn't he? Yes, he is. Sharangovich. There he is. The Ducks already gave up so many picks. Draft picks. They still have their 2nd, a 3rd. Can I get a 3rd and a 4th out of them? But maybe make the 2 thirds. How about 2 thirds for Sharangovich? It's not going to go through. It's completely woefully insufficient. So a 3rd and a 4th there from the Ducks. Trade rejected is too far off. What about this year's 4th and then a next year's 3rd? Maybe that'll get it done. Trade rejected. Okay, Seattle. I'll call you back. I'll give you that. I'll give you the offer again, Seattle. Give it to me. Give me a next year's 3rd and a this year's 4th from the Coyotes. How's that sound? They would have more than 4. Oh, they must have made a trade while we were calling them. Okay, instead of the 4th, how about, I don't know if this is worth it anymore. I really don't think this is worth it anymore. They'd be over the league maximum, how? In what world are they over the league maximum salary cap? It doesn't matter anyway. We made trades that we wanted to make. Everybody that had to go is gone. And we acquired another top pick. So, taking a look at what happened here, I mean, you guys can pause the video whenever you want to, but there it is. We acquired a 2nd round pick for Oliver Shillington, I think it's great. I didn't have any. He didn't want to come back. It's a rental. He's an 82 overall defenseman for a second. I feel like that's really good value. From the Golden Knights, we traded, or I'm sorry, not from the Golden Knights, excuse me, with the New Jersey Devils. This is the big one. We got their first, had to give up our own first, and then a second in 2 seasons, as well as elite goaltender Dustin Wolf. I mean, this is actually a pretty realistic trade for the Devils. They still keep a first. We basically, it was swapping firsts. I mean, it's silly to talk like that, right? The Devils have a top 5 pick, top 10 pick at the worst, right? We gave up an elite goaltender, a first and a second for an elite chance at a player and Nico Daws. Is it too much? Maybe, but we have Spencer Knight. We don't need Dustin Wolf. I don't want to pay him $3.2 million to be a backup or even in the AHL, right? Our first round pick. Hey, now we just focus on us and winning. We want to win now, as well as the second in 2 years. That's not that big of a deal. That's a future second. Nico Daws comes in and gives us more goaltending depth in the organization. He can be an AHLer, and we obviously get the prize of this deal is a top first-round pick. So maybe I could have given Carolinas. Don't think that was going to happen, but we now have 2 first-round picks, so that should complete the owner goal. Jeremy Swayman. Oh my God, what a weird. Oh man, Monahan in the third for Swayman. I don't think that deal's ever going to get done. I don't think Boston would ever do that. I mean, Montreal would probably want it, but Boston, I don't think is going to help out Montreal like that. So, Brad Hunt. Do we want to claim Brad Hunt? He's probably not an 80. He fits all defensive pairings, and he's 35. I'm going to decline to bring him in, and I'm sure. I'm sure the owner goals. Is he happy? When is that evaluated? A first round pick in the draft is evaluated on March 9th. So if I advance, I'll get an extra 50 grand, which is good. We take those. We love that. And I'll do the owner mode, the upgrade and maintain. What needs to be upgraded? Oh, the club seats, they need to be repaired. We can do that because I didn't spend I always do too much money right off the bat. So there we go. I've got to take a look at the lines now, but I'm super pumped that we have an early first round pick now. And what I think I'm going to do is move Lafreniere back up to the top. I think it's more important to give Lafreniere the ice time. I was thinking about it yesterday. Peterka's getting plenty. He's looking fine. Ruzicka over Barclay Goodrow. Oh, they did change everything, didn't they? Oh, yeah, they did. Who's scratched now is Lekkermiaki and Peltier. I don't think I'm going to keep Lekkermiaki in the NHL, so I think I'm going to go to roster moves, send him down. They really did screw me, didn't they? Yep, they did. All right, so 2 forwards need to come up. Probably just one. I'll just call up, I think, Hunt. Dryden Hunt at 28 doesn't seem like he's going to be anything for us. So I'll just call him up. Actually, you know what? Let's call up Anders Bjork. Get that salary, just pay him there. He's happy to be called up. We now have 20 players, best lines in the AHL, and I'll set up the lines and catch up with you guys when we go down the stretch, right? We got to see now what happens. So jumping back in, guys, wanted to remind you where the Devils rank. They rank 6th worst in the league right now. Pittsburgh does have 2 games in hand in them. On them, so do the Edmonton Oilers, and the New York Islanders have a full game in hand on them as well, which means this could end up being a top 3 pick should things fall right for us. The Edmonton Oilers, I'm rooting for you guys. Same thing with you, Pittsburgh and Islanders. Keep going. I don't think the Devils are going to catch the Wild or the Sharks. We have to look at the other way, though, too. They are 3 points behind the Red Wings with no games in hand. They have a game in hand on the Coyotes, who are 2 points ahead of them, and they're tied with 2 points behind the Blue Jackets with the same amount of games played. So still a lot of hockey to be played. 20 games remaining this season, but things are looking okay for us to get a top pick here. We still have Carolina's pick, and obviously the pick we just traded for. And the things we traded did not. I don't think they're going to make the New Jersey Devils any better of a team. Let's take a look at their team, their lines right now. The New Jersey Devils. Are they going to be playing Dustin Wolf at all this season? Goalies, Vitek, Vanish. Yeah, no. And they don't have him scratched either. So honestly, this is too good of a roster, I think, to do poorly. But we'll see. Morale does play a factor, and if they're not jiving, they're not going, then well, maybe they do continue to lose. But we do want to keep an eye on that. Let's get up for the rest of the month. And basically, now we just want to win. We are actually rooting for wins. Good job. Expect goals to be accomplished when I set them. Keep going. And he's shooing for an extension when the time comes. Added $50,000 worth of funds available to use. Ruzishka is going to extend his contract. Kavka is going to accept his contract as well. And now we're starting to lose games. There's a win. There we go. There we go. I was really worried that we're going to see nothing but losses down the stretch here and really fall out of, any potential playoff contention. A big loss against Buffalo. We are losing more than I would have hoped versus the LA Kings. Oh, God. We are going to lose there. So now, finally, the team comes back down to earth after the deadline. One thing I do want to keep looking for are the Devils, who are now at 70 points. Oh, God. They had what? 58, 57, and 63, and in the 11 games, they've gotten 12 points. I mean, that's not great. But yeah, they're still near the bottom. I guess I'm overreacting, but having to move our pick is not great, right? So maybe I want to put Peterka back on the top line. Maybe that was working better. I did try and keep the lines as similar to what they were when we ended here. I think. Oh my God, Connor Zary is just a massive minus. And if we're gonna try and make the playoffs, maybe I'll make him fourth line center. Although it's not about winning. He's got 43 points in 73 games. I think that's good enough. I'm actually impressed by that. But we'll go down the stretch here. Hopefully we can climb back into a potential playoff spot. Obviously that's not the aim here, but there's a win against, yes, some wins. Beautiful. I just don't want to make the mistake. Wow, okay, 4 out of 5 wins now that Peterka's back on the top line with the +5. That is kind of crazy. And we have 84 points and are back in a playoff spot, 3 points ahead of the Canucks. Oh, yeah, we love to see that. Let's keep it rolling here. We got a big game against the Canucks coming up. Against Anaheim, we are going to lose that one. Big. Oh, we lose 2 games. Big. 84. We're 1 point ahead of the Canucks. Holy cow. And it looks like the Devils are going to finish with 81 points. They're not going to quite be one of the worst teams in the league. Against Vancouver, we lose that one. We are now out of a playoff spot and into a lottery spot. And against San Jose, we lose there as well. So we finished the season about where I expected us to at about, well, I actually thought we'd finish much worse. Really what I am worried about, though, is I think the Devils did find some mojo and some rhythm down the stretch. They did. They absolutely did. The Islanders were the team that ended up falling off. The Devils here at 81. Okay, that's not the end of the world. I looked at the Ducks. The Oilers did pick it up too, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's still a top 10 pick. It's a top 10 pick, right? We can't be upset because it's a top 10 pick. We did miss the playoffs as the fourth worst team, or the 4th best team to miss the playoffs, right? So our chances of making or getting the lottery are just, it's not going to happen, let's be honest. So let's just recap the season. We'll see how things go, and we will get up to the draft lottery whenever it becomes available, and I will show you guys so we can prep and plan for next episode. But for now, let's take a look at who did well on the team. Now, you can see we really did bottom out. We were punching way above our weight, and I guess moving on from Shillington was the glue. But Huberdeau, Mangiapane with 30 and 60, only shot 15% too, so it wasn't too crazy. He signed for another year, reminder, at $5.8 million. So if he plays like that, I think that's a fine deal. Lafreniere with 58 points. What I said he was on pace. What I said he was on pace for. He did end up finishing with that. Rasmus Anderson with 56. We'll talk about him in a moment. Elias Lindholm with the big contract extension didn't really do what we needed him to do. Ruzishka, 49 and 82 was even best plus minus on the team, but again, he was like a plus 12 or something like that at one point in the season. He only played 15 minutes a night. And his giveaway to takeaway ratio is still pretty solid, right? Connor Zary with 48 points, but on the other end of the spectrum, minus 20. So a guy that put up points, but didn't really do it on both ends of the ice for us. JJ Peterka, our acquisition, put up 41, 28 and 59 for us. So he was about a half a point per game, big ol' minus, but 11 goals. Shooting percentage did plummet back down from 14%. I think he should normalize probably somewhere around 12%. 19 minutes a night in the quality of competition he was playing. It was probably way more than what he was ready for, but the giveaway to takeaway ratio is awesome. You'll love to see that from a guy like Peterka. Peltier with 33, I'm fine with that. Sharon Govich, Barclay Goodrow turned in to be a decent player for us. I honestly, I'm happy with how everyone did. Nobody shocked me. And again, I didn't put anybody really in the position to put him a ton of goals and points. So De Simone was a beautiful tank commander for us, a -27. Unfortunately, it didn't end up working for us. Rasmus Anderson, though, 56, like I said. Hannafin was a 42 points even, which is great on this team. I don't know how. Osterley with 16 points to Mers, De Simone, and then Dennis Gilbert there. So those are the guys we just kind of called up and let ride out the season. And then in goal, somehow Spencer Knight finished with above a 900 save percentage. God bless you, Spencer, because I don't know how you did that. 3.26 goals against. Vladar, yeah, you're not quite as good as Spencer Knight, are you? So, yeah, they got 3 points combined. So you love to see that. But really, guys, this is where I kind of expected us to be. I wanted us to be lower, but after what I saw, this was probably worst case scenario from where we were to where we were going to be. The points even out eventually, right? I showed you we were not scoring and we were getting scored on. Somehow we were still getting wins and stuff. Holy cow, Cale Makar, you are filthy. But Nathan McKinnon is going to lead the NHL in points, 1 point ahead of Nikita Kucherov. As far as goals, it is going to be Nikita Kucherov. Kaprizov almost touches 50. Same thing with McKinnon. That is just disgusting. How many players scored 40-some goals? A lot of points scored this year for everybody in the league. Defenseman-wise, we know it's Cale Makar. Erik Karlsson, point per game on the lowly Penguins. And then in goal, who is the best goalie of the season? Looks like Frederik Andersen. It might be, no, it's Connor Hellebuck. Connor Hellebuck is going to win the Vezina. Absolutely. 41 wins in 70 games played, 919 save percentage, and 268 goal against average. Rookie skaters, Connor Bedard, point per game. Logan Cooley, 63. Leo Carlson, 51 points. Connor Zary with 48. So you love to see Connor Zary there. Third most goals among rookies, tied with Marco Rossi, but he did have more points. So I will take that from Connor Zary. Rookie goalies. No rookie goalies played this year, but honestly, guys, I'm pretty happy with how that went. Let's go ahead, jump forward, and see just where the draft lottery slots us. All right, guys, jumping back in just to say I did complete the third owner goal. That was getting 29 wins this season. A little bit unfortunately. I was not aiming to complete this one, but there we go. 2 out of 3 completed. Don't think I'll get fired yet, but next up should be the draft lottery, just in case something else pops up. I'm not sure, but let's hope. All right, so it's officially time to announce who won the Stanley Cup. It is Vegas going back-to-back, and the Calder Cup champions are the Manitoba Moose. So Winnipeg's farm system is looking nice there. The salary cap is going to be 89 in the upcoming season. Going another week here. I really don't want to get too close to retirement. Can we get the draft lottery? We do. And oh my God, Ottawa via Detroit. And then Edmonton from 6-1. So we moved down from 9-10. And oh my goodness, our pick was that close from biting me in the butt. Ottawa, I was targeting that pick. I felt good about that pick. And unfortunately, I didn't get either of those. I didn't get the Edmonton pick and I didn't get the Detroit pick. I went with the New Jersey pick because it was higher. Probably overpaid for it now, considering it was only the 9th overall pick. But we do have pick number 9, and we can still move up. We can still call a team like the Islanders who may think they're contending, or Edmonton. Edmonton may be willing to talk about the number 1 overall pick, and that may be something that we could end up doing. Going up and getting number 1 overall. Taking a look at the draft class, guys, we're picking 9th, right? So that's the most important part. We do have the 9th pick. We would have had 12th, or I think 13th, had we not traded our own pick. But here you go. You can see at 9, Tanner Howe is the guy available to us. I would really like to go up and get Parashak or probably Sam Dickinson more than any of those guys. I'd go up and get Dickinson. There's Ryder Ritchie. Our scouts did not uncover that much about him. There's also Caden Lindstrom, a power forward, 1 year away. Plays like Milan Lucic. The number 1 overall player is Dmitry Zikov. Oh my goodness. Plays like Miku Koivu, a sniper, A+ shooting, A+ puck skills, A+ skating. Oh man, he's got balance, shoot, balance with behind the net. I believe that would fit our scheme. He has snipe and it's tricky, so he already has a couple X factors. Magic hands, he's a great skater, 200-foot game, 6'1", 194. Edmonton gets another number 1 overall pick, but I think I personally would like to go up and get that number 1 overall pick. I believe I'd be fine moving on from the number 1 that we got from Florida next year, our 2 number 1s this year, potentially a prospect or something. I think going out and getting Dmitry Zhikov is probably the right move. He's NHL ready. He fits the scheme. A+ shooting, A+ puck skills, A+ skating, A senses and defense, just A- physical. He's the kind of goal scorer, too, that we can build the team around. Put him between Huberdeau and Lafreniere, or Huberdeau and Lindholm, right? Or put him between Lindholm and Lafreniere, right? Zhikov could end up being the guy that we need to just completely take off. There's also a guy like Berkeley Catton. Not too many NHL-ready players this year. It seems like Mason Jackson would be the next guy, number 3 in my book. He's NHL-ready. Cycle Pinch doesn't exactly fit our scheme. But we can see we have the 9th pick. Edmonton would not be moving down too much, but did we uncover any gems here? Kiviharu's 1 year away, so that's another one there. And then our next pick would be down here. Eric's Mateko. All these guys are 2 years away. I doubt they're medium elite. 3 years, 4 years, 3 years. You guys know I like to look at the NHL readiness. That's like my favorite metric. See, like Yakimchuk right here would be a decent player to go after. Justin Poirier traded away his brother, I believe. They look too similar to not be brothers. It'd be crazy to me if you guys told me in the comments he's not actually his brother. I'd be flabbergasted. Pritchett here. Okay, so taking a look, there's not that many players that are really ready to go now. Taking a look at just sorting by overall, there's a medium elite goalie here, Jerry Corso, who's 17. Absolutely going to be taking him. Definitely need to pin Corso. Other than that, no other elites that we've uncovered in this draft class, but nonetheless, I kind of want to call Edmonton. Edmonton are most likely going to be a team that want to sell off that pick because they're ready to win now. And then taking a look here, I just wanted to see how did everybody else do as far as growth. Some statistical growth here for Peltier. Sharon Govich apparently had some natural growth as well. Ruzishka, and then Connor Zari in the system. Lekermiaki's now up to a, 74 overall, so we like to see that. That's really good growth from him. Cormier is up to a 76. Love that. Lipinski, these guys I'm not as worried about. Hanzik here up to a 73. I wish they would have showed me what he started at. That would have been nice to see, but just a couple points in growth for every single category there for him. Lots of interesting growth too, so I'm ready to take a swing for the number 1 overall pick. I really am. I think we get a number 1 overall pick. We don't have to talk about tanking. We can go for winning. We got a lot of cap. We don't have a lot of players to re-sign. We don't necessarily have too many future prospects, but I think for now, that'll be fine. I think we're ready to go get that number 1 elite guy. In Edmonton, they don't need that number 1. They're not going to be able to pay him in a few years. So I think getting him would probably be best for us, and we can end up potentially parting with some of our players and maybe picks and futures or young up and comers that we want to feel okay moving on. But let me know what you guys think. You guys have been great so far. You've been helping me out. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section. Should I go up and try and get the number 1 overall pick? But that's all the time I have for this one, guys. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more. And I will see you guys in the next one. This a free for all, before we fall. This a free for all, before we fall. Took some L's, but I guess you can't win them all.